put it down below. Let me know what you guys think, because there's people are 50-50 on it. So let me know what you guys think, okay? Okay, now let's move into Monica's biggest lie debunked, okay? And we got the receipts. So she claimed that she and Jen Shah were, quote, friends and did things for her because she, quote, needed help. First and foremost, Monica, Jen Shah did not need your help. Okay? Like, lover or hater, Jen Shah, for whatever it is, did not need Monica, Darnell, Fowler, Garcia's help with a damn thing. You sought her out. We saw the leaked receipts of you stalking her. You said yourself in the leaked audio, that you got in with her. So if she needed your help, why were you seeking her out? Doesn't make any sense. Jen Shah was already on the show. Jen Shah was already making all of this money doing her own personal schemes and scams. You know what I'm saying? She was out here scheming and scamming. She had her little coin. She's on the show. She's dipping it and doing it. Jen Shah was living Jen Shah's life. You wanted Jen Shah's life. So how exactly are you able to help her? Then you said you were doing, quote, friendship duties, including getting her groceries and making sure she's on time at her meetings. That sounds like an assistant to me, not a friend. My friend doesn't make sure that I get groceries and that I'm on time for my meetings. That is something an assistant does for their boss. It's called a PA. It's called a personal assistant. Personal assistants, they'll get your medicine. They'll help you with your childcare. They help you with the laundry. They'll even help you with cooking and cleaning. They'll help you with the groceries. They make sure you get onto your meetings on time. That is called an assistant. That is not called a friend. Girl, bye. You make zero sense. Like, we literally see you coming up with the lies in your mouth, but they're not. The math isn't mathing. That's not a friend. That is an assistant. Quiet as it's kept, that's actually an unpaid intern, because you admit it yourself, you weren't getting paid. And chef's kiss to Andy Cohen, or the people in his ear, for being like, so were you getting paid? And she was like, no. And this to me was flawless. I have my issues with Andy and how he sometimes hosts, but I'm going to give him chef's kiss for this, because I give credit when credit is due. And he was like, oh, so you took time away from your children to work for free? Boom. No. How Monica was pretending like she was some single destitute mother. What single destitute mother would take time away from her children to work for someone for free? Because this person who has made millions of dollars, however she made it, living in these immaculate rentals, designer stuff, all this stuff, because this is the person who needs your help, that makes zero sense. And you were never friends with Jen Shah. Tanisha already told it. And the other people already told it. Not Kiowa, because Kiowa's the designer, but the other some of the other assistants came out and told it. Jen didn't even know your name when you showed up at some TikTok video or some Instagram video, the WAP video, whatever it was that you guys were like remaking with her. She didn't even know what your name was, but you were DMing her and you were stalking her as a fan, and then you showed up, and then you admit it yourself. You asked her if you could help her. That is you seeking her out. That you offered to help her until she got a new assistant. I don't know about you, but if I am not making any money, I have 4 children to feed, I'm not going to ask someone who has millions of dollars, can I help you for free while you find a new assistant to pay? That makes zero sense. What does make sense is this. Monica was married to her husband, Mike, whether they were estranged or you do you, I do me, whatever. She was married to her husband, Mike. She had 4 kids. She's living in a almost $500,000 home. I think it's like $420K or something, that round up. $500,000 home. She has 4 children. She's married to Michael. Michael is making money. He's supporting the entire family, as he should. I'm not knocking that, as he should. And so basically, Monica was a stay-at-home wife. She was a stay-at-home mom. She was a housewife. Like a lot of housewives do. She started her little baby blanket on the side, selling it on Etsy or whatever site she's selling it on, maybe on TikTok or Instagram. Like a lot of housewives, they have their little, their little Etsy shops and whatever. Monica was a stay-at-home wife. She was a housewife. Her husband made the money. She had the 4 kids, and she lived in a nice home. I've seen people knocking her house on Instagram and stuff. Oh, 300 square foot. I'm not doing that. I personally don't like shaming people for stuff like that. That to me doesn't make any sense. I think she's living in a really nice home. In my opinion, I think she has a nice home. She's a great home. She's a great home. She's living in a really nice home. She has her kids and her husband's making money and she doesn't have a job. Just like Tanisha said, I've never seen her have a job before. I'm not knocking her side hustle of the baby blanket. I'm just saying, realistically, in the world, she didn't have a job. She was an actual housewife. That is how she was able to seek out Jen Shah and work for free because she wanted to become famous and on the show. That's the real logical situation going on here, right? Now, she's like, oh, I was broke and my car broke down. I asked Jen for like $2,500. Number one, whether you are her friend, her assistant, or her unpaid intern, just because your car breaks down doesn't mean that she's obligated to pay you for it. It would be nice if she did it. That would be a kind gesture, but she's not obligated to do that. You know, if I'm working for McDonald's and my car breaks down, McDonald's most likely isn't going to pay to get my car fixed. It would be great if they did. Maybe ethically and morally they should, but there would be no obligation for them to. So why are you even talking about you were doing all this stuff for Jen and your car broke down and you begged her for $2,500? It doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure if Heather Gay's car broke down, she wouldn't ask Andy Cohen for money to get her car fixed. Doesn't make any sense. Monica is doing what Monica does. She creates these sort of her being the victim scenarios, and then she tries to paint the other person as this horrible, mean villain. But it doesn't make any sense when you actually think about it in a rational way. You know? Even on a deeper level. Say my car broke down. It's not going to break down. I'm not manifesting that. Say it did. And I went to my mom. I was like, Mom, my car broke down. Can you give me some money? My mom is not obligated to give me money. It'd be great if she did, but she's not obligated to. What I'm saying is this. Monica has a very bizarre level of entitlement. Do you know what I mean? She has a very, very bizarre level of entitlement. That's really, really weird to me. Really, really weird. But there's that. What else? Okay, so she stalked Jen to get on the show, friendship duties, all of that. All right, now let's see. Okay, before I move on to Heather, let's talk about, where is it? Okay, so you guys. All right, let me just move on to it and then we'll talk about it. So I love it when our candy cane conspiracies get confirmed. Remember, this is entertainment alleged opinion. So when I say confirmed, it's my opinion that it's been confirmed. And I got the receipts. So if you remember, I think it was maybe last week when we were talking about, obviously, Monica, Salt Lake City. And I said 2 things. I said, 1, Monica has an unhealthy obsession with Kim Kardashian, just like Jen Shah. And I said, 2, the real reason why she wanted to be on the show was not because she wanted, or she was doing reality Von Tease and being the assistant and all that stuff. Wasn't because she wanted to expose Jen Shah out of the kindness of her heart, but it was because she was calculating and was being manipulative because she wanted to be Jen Shah and she wanted to be on the show. Remember? And if you don't remember, I got the receipts. So it's really satisfying now that People magazine, a very reputable magazine, is now stating the same exact conspiracy theory we had before. Okay? Now, I'm not going to read the whole, you know what? Let's do it. I'll read the article from People magazine and then I'm going to play the videos, okay? Because I came with the receipts. Andy Cohen, wait, that's not the right one. Okay, here it is. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Monica Garcia compares herself to Kim Kardashian, says the show sucked before she joined. Okay. Monica Garcia allegedly had big plans that would thrust her into reality TV royalty, and they involved Jen Shah. On Tuesday's first installment of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 4 reunion, the single mom, 40, she's not single, she's a co-parent, but whatever, compared herself to the likes of Kim Kardashian while describing her role as Jen's former assistant and her eventual casting on the show. When asked to give a little insight into her relationship with Jen, Monica revealed that she and the imprisoned reality star were once close before their friendship evolved to employer, and eventually to mortal enemies. Explaining that Jen would often need help with her life, Monica recalled doing things like getting her groceries or making sure she was on time to her freaking meetings for whatever. Now, looking back and knowing everything, I'm like, okay, I get it. I almost felt like I was more than just a friend, the things I would do for her, she explained, before sharing why she took on a job that didn't pay. Honestly, she was my friend. She needed help. It didn't start like that. We were friends first, and I was like, I can help you until you need somebody. Heather Gay then confronted her about ulterior motives and allegedly having a Kim K started out as an assistant and look where it got her. And I'll start out as an assistant and see where it gets me moment, which Monica denied. Don't worry, I have the clip. We're going to listen to it. I would like you to hear something, Monica, that you said just for a little bit of clarity, Heather retorted before playing a recording of a voice that sounded similar to Monica's. Effing Kim Kardashian was an effing assistant, and look at that be now, Monica allegedly said on Heather's phone. I can fully admit that the whole reason why I was an assistant and putting up with that crap was as a stepping stone and as a learning experience. Monica didn't deny Heather's accusations, but admitted she tried getting cast on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, not thinking she would ever end up on the show. Girl, bye. The Bad Mormon, a memoir author, doubled down on her claims and speculated that Monica was never a friend helping Jen, but had an agenda. Heather is spot on 100%. Monica was never a friend helping Jen. She always had an agenda. I didn't, Monica refuted. When I met her, I didn't even know she was on the show. Honestly, when I applied to get on the show, I applied just like everybody else sitting here. We already debunked that. That's a lie. As you'll also hear in the clip, of course, Monica knew Jen Shah was on the show. She said she started being her, quote, friend and working for her after season 1 filmed. So if you're working for her after season 1, then you know she's on the show. So stop lying. Monica explained she emailed casting with a message. I said, my name is Monica Fowler and your show sucks and your ratings are crap and it's going to get you canceled because you don't have the right cast. That's what I said. I'm being honest. She shrugged before showing the actual email she sent to casting. Quote, reaching out in regards to your casting call, it read, would love more information on what needs to be done or how to move forward. You guys need a feisty, excommunicated Latina on the show immediately. I'm your girl, Monica F. Now, this was in a People magazine, so thank you very much. Now, let's go back to, no, we don't have to go back, but let's go to what I said last week. It was in the last week or the week before that. I did a whole deep dive on why Kim Kardashian should be worried. I said both Jen Shah and Monica have an unhealthy obsession with her. Jen wanted Kim to represent her during her trial before pleading guilty. Jen wanted Kim to play her in a movie about Jen's life, her bioepic. Monica referred to Kris Jenner talking about her children's sex life as a model for parenting. Monica cosplayed as Kris Jenner while hanging out with Jen. And then both of them were physically morphing into her with their looks and plastic surgery. So I said this about a couple weeks ago, and I love how it's coming out now. But let's listen to what Monica said herself during that. Wait, we'll do it after this. And then a part of that clip, we'll watch both. A part of that clip was also when I had my conspiracy theory about her claim that she wanted, her and the other reality Bontes bloggers wanted to expose Jen out of the kindness of their hearts. And she's such a mean employer. And I was like, that makes no sense at all. They were doing it because they wanted to be famous. They were doing it because they wanted money and they wanted fame. They wanted on the show. They were doing it for self, not because they wanted to help other people. And Jen Shah was this horrible person. Now, to be clear, there is nothing wrong with wanting to be famous. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be on a reality television show. There is nothing wrong with wanting to have money. There is nothing wrong with wanting to have a certain lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. But like I said, it's never about the action or the wanting. It's the energy behind what you do. So lying and saying you have this moral high ground and you want to expose someone, and that's why you did this really messed up thing, creating these fake burner accounts to basically troll people. That's the problem. If you want to be famous, then apply, go to acting school, apply to casting calls, start your own YouTube, but maybe like as your own self, look at Heather McDonald. You know what I mean? Heather McDonald is a comedian. She's an actress. She's a writer. And she talks all about pop culture and Bravo. And she shows her face and she's amazing. And look at her. She's extremely successful. So she didn't have to do it this way. That's the whole thing. It's not about wanting to be famous. It's not about any of that. It's how and why she did it. That's what the core problem is. That's the core issue. But let's watch some of the stuff now. Okay. So let's first watch just a snippet of my conspiracy theory from last week or the week before, because I like to have the receipts, and then we'll listen to what Monica said at the reunion. Let's do it that way. Okay, here we go. This is why Kim Kardashian should be worried. Just super quick. Both Jen and Monica have an unhealthy obsession with her. Number one, Jen wanted Kim to represent her during her trial before pleading guilty. I mean, literally wanted Kim Kardashian to be on her legal team. Now she wants Kim to play her in her bioepic. If there's a Lifetime movie about Jen's life, she wants Kim to play it. Girl, bye. Monica also referred to Kris Jenner talking about her children's sex life as a model for parenting. Remember? Not this last episode, but the episode before that, or maybe the one before that when they're all on the bus. And she asked Heather if her daughter was having sex. And Heather was like, excuse me, that's a boundary that I'm not going to cross. I'm not going to talk about my daughter's sex life, particularly on camera, and also not with you. And she was like, Kim Kardashian or Kris Jenner does it all the time. Seems like it worked out. I also found a clip, and I got it so we can watch it, of Monica cosplaying Kris Jenner while hanging out with Jen. I mean, it's bizarre. And then as you can see, physically morphing into her with their looks and plastic surgery, particularly Monica now, because she's like rail thin. And we'll get into that, whether she's taking Ozempic or what the deal is. But it's really psycho. But let's watch her cosplaying Kris Jenner.
I wanted to get you guys on here because my mother came in here and I'm like, what the hell is she saying Kimberly for?
Kimberly, let's go. Ariana Grande asked me to be in her newest video.
Yeah, pretty sure she didn't.
Oh, you are so... Don't be fucking rude.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That doesn't look like a horrible boss to me. That looks like someone who's having fun and kikiing with their boss, trying to cosplay as the Kardashians. I mean, it's just psycho. And I'm serious. Kim should watch out because Monica is unhinged. What she's done isn't funny. It's not a moment. It would be funny in a moment if it was actually scripted and everybody was in on it. And it was like a scripted TV show. Like if this was actually Gossip Girl or actually Pretty Little Liars, sure. But not when you're playing with real people's lives. Not when you're doing drive-bys of people's houses. I'm sorry, but if someone I don't know is driving by my house and then they lie to me to infiltrate to be a part of my life, restraining order. Restraining order. It's psycho. Absolutely psycho. Ugh. All right, let's get back to talking about the rest of the episode. So Tanisha exposed Monica. We talked all about that. What else? Yep. So, oh no, here we were there. So, yep, I called it about two weeks ago. But now let's listen to what Monica said on part 1 of the reunion, which confirms this conspiracy theory that we had a couple weeks ago.
Learned early on about your connection with Jen Shah. Were you two close friends, or how would you describe your relationship?
I would describe it as we were friends first, and then I was working for her, and then enemies, I guess.
So what did you specifically do for her? What was your job description?
She needed help at the time with, honestly, her life. Like, now, looking back and knowing everything, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I almost felt like I was just more of a friend. Like, the stuff I would do for her, like, I would go and get her groceries. I would make sure that she was on time to her freaking meetings and whatever.
Was she filming the show at this point?
I think you guys filmed season 1.
Okay. Was she paying you?
No.
So you were taking time away from your kids for a job that didn't pay?
Yeah.
Why were you doing it? Why?
Yeah.
Honestly, she was my friend. She needed help. It didn't start like that. We were friends first, and I was like, I can help you until you need somebody.
So you didn't have like...
I had a husband home at the time.
And look where it got her, and I'll start out as an assistant and see where it gets me?
No.
I would like you to hear something, Monica, that you said.
I would love for you to read that, Heather.
It's just,
I think we're gonna
just for a little bit of clarity.
Oh, it's an audio recording.
Fucking Kim Kardashian was a fucking assistant. And look at that bitch now.
Yeah.
I can fully admit that the whole reason why I was an assistant and putting up with that shit was as a stepping stone, as a learning experience.
So that proves what? That she was doing it to get on the show? Were you being her assistant to get on the show?
I didn't think I would ever end up on the show, honestly. But why wouldn't I try to get on the show?
I was just clarifying that I don't think you were her friend helping her. I think that you had an agenda.
Friend, Heather.
Well, you had an agenda.
I didn't. When I met her, I didn't even know she was on the show.
As this situation.
Yep. So you heard it yourself. Everything we said, she confirmed herself out of her own double-mouthed self. She said in the clip we just listened to, she had a husband at home. And when Andy asked her about, well, you left your children to not get a paying job. So like I said, she was a housewife. She had a husband who was paying all of her bills. She didn't need to have a job. That's why she could work for Jen for free. So her whole single mom lie. Lied out of her mouth, spoke double talk. 1 second she said that she didn't know who Jen was when she met her. The next thing she said was they had already filmed season 1 when she started being her friend and started working for her. Which one is it? Then she said she wasn't trying to be on the show. And then she said, well, yeah, maybe. Like all over the place. And just like we said weeks ago, unhealthy obsession with Kim Kardashian. And the real reason why she got close to Jen Shah was to get on the show, not because she cared about exposing Jen. Because at the end of the day, Monica and Reality Vontees didn't expose or take down Jen Shah. When you really think about it, they didn't. The only entity that took down Jen Shah was the federal government. Because whose prison is Jen Shah in? The federal government's prison. She's not in Monica Darnell Fowler Garcia's prison. So you didn't take down Jen Shah. And saying that Jen Shah has a temper and pops off and yells at people, well, yeah, look at season 1 through 3 on the show. Jen Shah is losing her damn mind every other episode, screaming, cursing, throwing things. She's having a temper tantrum every other scene. So how exactly did you expose or take down Jen Shah? I'm confused and I'll wait. Exactly. You didn't. You didn't. Nobody thought Jen Shah was an angel. The reason why Jen Shah, in some people's mind, was, quote, iconic was because she was so wild and aggressive. And you couldn't really, what's the word I'm looking for? Unpredictable. She was so unpredictable and so wild, right? She was the villain. We all knew that. Was anybody like, oh my God, I can't believe Jen Shah raised her voice at her assistant? What are you talking about? You really exposed her. No, we were like, okay, that tracks. And what? Like, what? What? And it's not like the federal government built their case against Jen Shah because Monica Garcia was like, by the way, she one time asked me if I wanted to open up an email account. Like, girl, bye. Like, I can't. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, all right. Now let's move on to the rest of the reunion. Okay, so Heather. I think Heather is going to get way more activated